to talk about pricing your products and services with confidence. And this is always an issue that comes up whenever I meet with women who are business owners. How do I price? Am I pricing too high? Am I pricing too low? What happens when someone lowballs me? Do I, just give in because I want the business? These are real things that as entrepreneurs, especially those who aren't born into business, they usually have an issue with. So that's the goal of today, is to talk about how to overcome that and be confident in your pricing. And I just wanted to start off with a little story. Everyone here knows who Michael Jordan is, basketball player. Okay. So when he started out in the NBA and he was negotiating with Nike to launch the first Air Jordan, we're talking like in the early 80s, he and his team decided that this was going to be a valuable product. And they started pricing their shoes at $200 a pop back then in the early 80s. Nobody was doing that. But how they sold it was that it was having these Air Jordans was an experience. So, yes, they're more expensive, but I want you to fly with me, buy Air Jordans. And, it had nothing to do with what was on the market. It was the confidence in the pricing, and people bought because there was also a marketing push behind it. And the reason why I bring it up is because when you're pricing, you have to have that confidence. But you have to be aware of who your clientele is, who you're selling to, and basically what the goal of your business is. So, um, let me see. Determining how you'll price your products or services is kind of like a tiptoeing game between how much it'll cost you as a business owner and how much you can charge and what's the profit. So it's kind of like the balance between the three. Finding the right price drives revenue and maximizes profit without necessarily alienating your customers or your clients, because you do want them to keep coming in. Some of the most common mistakes that business owners make when it comes to pricing, number one, is not aligning their price with their business strategy. So going back to the Michael Jordan example, their business strategy was to sell this luxury product, and they wanted everybody to buy it. That's why they created the price so high, because there was this whole experience behind it. Now, you and your business, who is your clientele? What's your business strategy? Are you, whether it's a business or whether it's a service or a product, are you trying to sell it to, the average person and make it affordable? Are you trying to create a luxury product? And does your business strategy reflect that? So as an example, Walmart. Walmart's pricing is affordable. It's for everybody. I know people who refuse to go to Walmart because for them it's low end. Well, Walmart's business strategy is not to cater to people who are higher end and refuse to go there. Flip the script and you go to something like a Holt Renfrew. Holt Renfrew is luxury. They might have fewer clients, but the revenue per client is higher, and they want to create an experience. So in your own business, who is your clientele, and does your pricing align with your business strategy and the clientele you're trying to service? Number two, relying on the gut feeling. So yes, I know women have good intuition, but sometimes if you're already lacking confidence, your gut feeling is not accurate. So that's one of the mistakes that business owners make when it comes to pricing. Number three, not segmenting your customers. Again, it goes back to who are your clients? What type of clients do you have? What is their average revenue? It has to align. Number four, focusing on the cost and not the value. I see this with photographers. I see this with content creators. They're always just like, oh, I don't know if people are going to pay for this. The conversation shouldn't be the price. It should be the value. What do you do? What are you bringing? And people will pay if they see value in it. But it starts with you. If you don't reflect that, if you say, like let's say we're doing an elevator pitch and someone asks you, what do you do? I'm a life coach, part-time, it's my side hustle. No one's going to buy into that. So you need to focus on the value that you're bringing and not so much focusing on the cost. That will come with, that will come with market research. Number five, not considering external, like just the market and the economy. One industry I always talk about is the restaurant industry because I know a lot of restaurant owners, and the mistake that they make, the ones who are like ma and pa restaurant owners, is that they don't increase their prices gradually. So here in Montreal, for the longest time, we're very fortunate to be able to go to restaurants and they're cheap, big portions, but they didn't increase their pricing. What happened last year? They had no choice, and we've all been to restaurants where it used to cost $10 for a plate in 2019 and then 2020. And then 2021, they increased their pricing to whatever, $11 for the same plate. And if you go this year, now it's $15 for that plate, but a smaller portion. It's just like bang. And you can't do that. You have to adjust with the market gradually every year. And number six, losing sight of your competitors. Always check out to see what your competitors are doing and charging. Always compare, because your pricing has to do with the market that you're trying to reach. So how do you overcome the lack of confidence? Do your market research. What are other people doing, or other businesses doing? What are they charging? For the most part, none of us are innovative. There's usually other people out there, other businesses who are doing what we're doing. Check out their websites, ask for a quote, ask around, ask in Facebook groups. Look, there's Women Who Freelance Montreal. You could join that Facebook group and ask. I'm starting a business. I'm starting a photography business. I want to know how much people are charging. Photography is a very vast industry. You could be a budget photographer. You could be a high-end photographer. You could be a wedding photographer. There's all different price points for that. So do your market research and see what other people are charging for similar services to you, if you have no idea what to charge. Number two, the value proposition. What do you do? Why should people work with you? Again, most of the businesses that we're in are not unique. Someone else does it. We didn't reinvent the wheel. But why should people work with you? Why should they buy your product? I'm stealing this from, there was a guest speaker, David Tyler, who was at the Solopreneurs Montreal event, and he talked about when you're talking about value proposition and who you serve, he broke it down into action, whom, result. What do you do? Who do you service, and what's the result? So I help women. I help women increase their financial wealth year over year. So I help is the action, women is whom, and the result is increase their financial health, increase their financial wealth year over year. So action, whom, result. What's your value proposition? Who do you help? How do you help them? That's what you have to keep in mind. Number three, know your costs. Know your costs, because that's how you could adjust your pricing. So how much does it cost for each client or each product? And with the market research, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that it's worth your time. And something that I hear often is freelancers working with clients, and then they go on one of these Facebook groups, and then they have the whole story of how they work with XYZ clients. I feel like I'm wasting my time. Well, this is part of the journey, but you have to learn from those experiences. Know your costs, including the time that you put in. Is it worth working for this client for the price that you're charging? Number four, test pricing. If you're starting out, you have to test the market. It's okay. It's okay to adjust your pricing. Pricing is not set in stone, but don't be quick to change it right away. Let's say you get your first client and you charge $150 an hour, and they're saying, okay, I'm going to work with you for the next 6 weeks, so it's $150 every week, but they only sign up for one time. Then you get disappointed and you think it's something wrong with the pricing. And so right away you adjust it. Don't do that. You're allowed to adjust your pricing, but look at over a 3-month, 6-month period. Is it the time of the year where it's kind of low for your business? It's quiet. Maybe it has nothing to do with your pricing. Maybe it has to do with your marketing. Maybe it has to do with your approach. But pricing is not set in stone. You're allowed to test it out. Um, and you're allowed to adjust your pricing, but let it kind of flow in the business. Number five, seek feedback. If you're not sure, ask. You could even ask people in the same business as you. Even though we're kind of competition, we we're willing to share. I have financial advisors who call me and ask me questions about, the industry, what to do with clients, and I'm willing to share with them my feedback, even though technically we're competitors. So ask for feedback. Whatever field it is that you're in, ask other people in your industry, hey, have you noticed that this? And they'll tell you. And then you could sit there and rant about it over the next hour and figure out how we could overcome this. If none of this works and you're still stuck, uh, work on the professional development, work on the mindset shift, get a business coach, get a mentor, work with somebody. You can't do it on your own. I mean, how long are you going to sit there agonizing over the pricing of your business on your own by yourself in front of your computer? At some point, you can't do it on your own. You need a business coach or a mentor. I always refer people to Yes Montreal. Yes Montreal has business coaches available. It's like $30 a year membership, and you have access to all the services of Yes, including business coaches. They'll help you with pricing, mind shift, marketing. There's so many things that they can help you with. It's going to be the best $35 you've ever spent. But if you're still having that block, you need you need outside help. That's okay. That's fine. Every successful business person, they don't do it on their own. They hire a coach at some point, no matter how good you think they are. So that's it for pricing. Does anybody have any questions or comments?